Hi and welcome to the 18th of March 2013's Raw review. In my opinion, this wasn't a great show. The things that let it down for me was there was no Rock again. That's 2 weeks now since we've last seen the WWE Champion. We did see John Cena at the very start of the show. It was kind of an odd segment that he was in though. He came out to cut a promo about WrestleMania, saying that he wasn't going to guarantee victory this year, but that he was on a roll and that he was confident. And then he gets interrupted by Darren Young and Titus O'Neil. But Titus O'Neil is dressed up as Darren Young's uncle, who's calling himself Pancake, and then arranges for Darren Young to have a match with John Cena. I don't really know what this had to do with anything leading into WrestleMania. It was really quite confusing, but they did have Cena on the show, and they did have him win quite strongly over Darren Young, so maybe it's just trying to make Cena look good going into WrestleMania. The other big points of the show was that Ryback's now been taken out of the six-man tag match against The Shield, and he's now facing Mark Henry. I do like this feud. I do think it's a better match to see Ryback versus Mark Henry, and it's obviously made a change now that Big Show has put himself in the match in Ryback's place. So does this mean that Big Show's now turning face? Or will he just continue to be heel and maybe turn on Sheamus and Orton at WrestleMania? I really don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments box below. The thing I found really interesting tonight in the show was the triple threat match between Jericho, Miz and Wade Barrett. The thing I liked about it was this was the best match on the whole show, and only last week the same three people were in the worst segment of Raw, where the announcers were just slating the segment and saying how bad it was and we need to go to a commercial break, and just 1 week later they had the best match on Raw. So I did think that was quite good. The only thing is with this match is that I would have liked to have seen it at WrestleMania, because I really don't understand what's going to happen now, because Barrett retained the title, so now he's got the Intercontinental belt back, and it's looking like it's going to be either The Miz versus Wade Barrett or possibly Jericho versus Wade Barrett. And I don't really like any of them two matches as much as the triple threat, because it's going to leave someone out. I can't imagine them leaving Miz with no WrestleMania match until the last week like they did last year. And they're not going to keep Chris Jericho off WrestleMania. So I really don't know what's going to happen there, but hopefully we should find out more next week. We had another match announced, and that's Dolph Ziggler and Big E Langston is taking on Team Hell No for the Tag Team Championships at WrestleMania. I do like this match. I'm glad they didn't go Daniel Bryan versus Kane at WrestleMania. It's nice that they're keeping them together and they're actually putting them against two heels. I would have liked to have seen Ziggler in a one-on-one match, but I don't really mind this as much because I think Daniel Bryan and Ziggler will still put on a really good match. The odd thing about this was that Ziggler didn't seem to want the match. It was AJ who actually accepted for him, and he didn't seem to look very happy about it at all. Whether that was just him being a heel and just being cowardly, I'm not sure. But I do think that will be a good match, and at least now they're on the card for WrestleMania. One of the other matches that was built up on this show was the Undertaker versus CM Punk. I don't think this was the greatest build-up, as it showed Undertaker come out to the ring, call out CM Punk for the urn, and then CM Punk came on the screen and gave an okay promo, but then Undertaker was just left standing in the ring after he'd called Punk out. It didn't show what happened. Undertaker obviously just walked backstage after watching CM Punk on the video, but it just made Undertaker look a bit silly in my opinion. He came out, called him out, CM Punk come on the screen, didn't look that bothered. He was bouncing the urn around and dropping it, and then Undertaker just walked off. I think they could have done a better job with this. I think the build up for the Undertaker and Punk match last week was a lot better, and obviously they spent more time on it last week, but I just think this segment could have been a bit better. I don't know though, maybe some people liked it, found it interesting, it weren't for me. And throughout the whole show there was building to the main event, which was going to be the Triple H Brock Lesnar contract signing. This seemed to be what all the focus was on, and I was really hoping for the announcement after Triple H signed the contract for it to be an MMA match, just because I thought this would be something Brock Lesnar would be more comfortable with, and it would put Triple H out of his environment, and I think it would be a sort of bigger spectacle to see at WrestleMania, but they didn't go with that. They went with no holds barred, and I just didn't see what the big deal was about a no holds barred match. It's basically just a no disqualification match, but then Paul Heyman announced that Triple H's career was also on the line, and I did like this bit just because I was convinced that Triple H was going to beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania because Brock Lesnar beat Triple H at SummerSlam. I just thought that's exactly what was going to happen, and that was the way it was going to go. But because of this stipulation, it's making me think that maybe Brock could win, because this would be a good reason for Triple H to get off TV after WrestleMania. It would give him a very good reason to. And we know that Brock signed a 2-year contract with WWE, so it makes more sense for him to win, get Triple H out of the way, and then start a new feud. I hope you enjoyed this review. Please let me know what you think of the show, or if you disagree with any of the points I've made, just let me know in the comments box below. And until next time, thanks for watching.